So that is pretty much it. Now, since I'm on the inventory screens, I might as well go ahead and do this. Any items on any character that you do not plan on bringing to endgame, you should convoy all of them, because like I said, we're soon we're going to be losing access to the inventories of everyone who is not in our endgame party, so excuse me for a while I do that. Oh, by the way, here's Oliver's full portraits in all its glorious, well, glory. Oh, I only just realized that there's a give all option. Probably should have been doing that the whole time. I am stupid. Next step. Unequip all skills from everyone that you don't plan on bringing to endgame. So, again, this is gonna take a while. Oh, and if you don't plan on using Kurth Naga, you can actually remove Night Tide and sell it. So, Nolan still has his free Nile, which gives me a chance to talk about something. Nile scrolls are extremely vital in endgame. You want to make sure that you remove Khalil and Nolan's starting Nile skills before entering the tower. Because you want all Nile scrolls, there is, I believe, a total of 4 of them. There's one on Ike, one on Nolan, one on Khalil, and I think there's one more, but anyway, Nile is extremely useful in endgame because from here on out, every boss is going to be 3rd tier, and so will have their enemy instantly die skills. Nile lets you negate the effects of those, so, I'll just go ahead and remove Paragon as well. So your best fighters should have Nile. Nile is also extremely useful for negating a different skill during the final battle, so also useful for that. The other useful skill here, Parity. Parity is like a light version of Nile. It negates the enemy's skills, but it also negates the user's skills as well. However, most bosses in endgame have Nile anyway, so you can't activate your skills against them regardless. There's not really much of a penalty to using Parity apart from cancelling your own supports. Parity is also useful for one other reason. The tower has some really insane terrain effects, so a skill that negates terrain is also very useful sometimes. So make sure that you remove Lucia's starting Parity as well, because you'll need that. So now that I've done that, I'm going to actually have to go ahead and do Give All for more people, because I need to convoy all these skill scrolls. Remember, the skill scrolls will be useless if they're sitting in the inventory of a character who you are not bringing to endgame, so be sure to convoy them after removing them. Okay, so now that I've done that, yeah, you might notice I have a ton of things that I can potentially sell here, so I'm going to do a massive inventory clean out, but I'm going to start with some skills, because there are a few skills that are going to be completely useless at this point that I want to sell. Also, firstly, door keys. There are no doors to open in the tower, so sell all of those. I can probably afford to sell almost all of my Olivia Grass too, because at this point we have more than enough Lagoose transformation items. I'll keep a couple of them though, just to be sure. Okay, next, if you don't plan on using any Beast Lagoos in endgame, you can easily just sell Howl and Quicklaw. I guess we can sell Maelstrom. I might still want to keep Wildheart though. Night Tide again, if you're not using Kurth Naga, feel free to sell that. Yeah, I might as well sell Mercy. Not gonna need that. Yeah, make sure you have all of these Niles, by the way. Okay, now is the thing that I wanted to talk about. You can sell Beast Foe and Bird Foe now, because we're not going to be fighting any more enemies of those types. Don't sell Dragon Foe, though, we're going to be needing that later. And yeah, that should be all in terms of skills. All the other skills I think are fine to have. Yeah, we have so many Lagoon Stones that I can definitely afford to sell all of my Olivia Grass. And yes, if you don't need Lagoon's gems, these things sell for a huge amount of gold, so if you'd rather spend that gold on forge weapons, you can do that. If you're using Gifka, definitely keep a Lagoon's gem for him. They're kind of useful for Ina as well, and if you're using a Heron who is not Raphael, you want to have one of these for the Heron as well. I might as well keep my second Lagoon's gem. And a bunch of coins. Okay, so now I'm just going to go through the arduous process of selling unwanted weapons, so I'll be right back. This is going to take a while. Don't sell these. Definitely don't sell these. We'll be needing them later. Sadly, this is useless if you're not bringing Mist to endgame, but we can't sell it. If you have Marksman, you don't need longbows at all, so let's go ahead and sell those. You know, I kind of doubt I'll be using this in endgame, but it does feel bad selling an SS weapon. Though, admittedly, I should probably sell Rex Bolt because no one can use it. No, actually, no, wait, I might need the unlock stuff, but I have soft for that. Okay, that should be everything selling-wise, so I now have a lot of gold. Now, before I forge things, we can finally buy physics staves now. Also, I should probably show what's in the bargains. We have a Worm Slayer here. I wonder why they're selling that. We have this, that, and a whole ton of arm scrolls, shine barriers, and a whole bunch of Laguz stones that, at this point, honestly, you probably don't need Laguz stones, because we have the Laguz gems now. We have shine barriers, though. Those actually are kind of interesting in endgame. You can use some interesting strategies with them. A whole bunch of arm scrolls just in case you don't have SS rank users at this point. I might buy a couple of them, because I sort of want Micaiah to SS Light and Stars before the end of the game, and I doubt she's going to get there on her own. So I'm going to actually buy a couple of these. Let's just convoy them. And as for stars, we can buy Physic now. I'm going to go ahead and take a few of these. I have 2 Restore Staves, and also Ina has Booms. That takes a little bit of pressure off of the restoring. Also, Ward is not bad. We will be facing a lot of enemies, especially in Endgame 1 with Status Staff, so using Ward on Ike is not a terrible idea. Do I even have a... I think I broke my Ward Staff. I might as well buy one of these, actually. Not sure who I'm going to give it to, though. And I think I'm okay with Restore Stars for now. But I might buy a couple of extra... Actually, wait a minute. I'm going to buy 3 Physics Staves. We still have a few of them in storage, but Physic is always amazing, especially in endgame, so I think 3 of those is pretty much enough. And now I only really have enough money for 1 forge weapon. I was going to make a ton of them, but unfortunately no. So I don't really have much in the way of tomahawks, so let's maybe make a superpowered forged... Actually, that's really cheap. Guess red. And I have a whole bunch of coins, so let's just see what we get out of these bonuses. Well, Goddess is on there, but if I get it, I'm going to be really surprised. It's a 1% chance, by the way. Wings. Oh, crit plus 5 isn't bad. I can't fit Draconic. Well, I couldn't even call this a poleaxe anyway. Can I fit this? Don't know if I've actually used this reference before. This comes from an old game I used to play as a kid, where in Time Has Come in San Diego, one of the Vikings said they often give axes dramatic names, and one of the examples was Dragonbite. For now, that's going in the convoy. I'm not entirely sure who to give that to. Let's maybe make a forged javelin. Yeah, see, these are actually pretty cheap. Yes, let's make it pink for lols. Okay, coin. Let's see what bonus I get here. Please don't give me the Raven. I really don't need that right now. I get... So, oh, that's not bad. +1 might, +10 hit. Now I'm regretting making this pink. Not that there's anything wrong with pink as a color, but anyway. Oh yeah, I can actually fit Pink Punisher. I just thought of that because it sounds kind of like a Steel Samurai thing, although wait, there is Plumed Punisher. I guess I'll make another forged hand axe. Okay, what coin bonus will I get this time? Again, Goddess is on there, but if I get it, I'm going to be extremely surprised. Archer, that's... not great, but oh well. 105 hits, kind of interesting. This taken from an axe in the D&D starter set. I'm mostly doing this because I'm curious about what my coins give as bonuses. I transferred a whole bunch of them from Path of Radiance, after all. Sword. Well, that's just a slightly worse version of the Pink Punisher. Yeah, I could just not give these weapons names, but come on, I'm naming all my forged weapons. You know, I just realized that's the name of a trick in Spyro 3 skateboarding. I was actually going for a reference to Jake and Rachel's tag power from Advance Wars Dual Strike, but that works too. Now I want to name more of these after Spyro 3 skateboarding tricks. There was one I actually did not show off in that video. It's called Thrash Master, but how you do it is kind of awkward. I need to see if it still exists in the reignited version, but anyway. Yeah, I don't really need to forge any tomes or swords. So, like, how much would a forged silver lance cost? These get pretty expensive. But I guess I'll do this, because... So, I'm bringing 2 Lance users to endgame, and there's only 1 SS Lance. I either need to do... so my other Lance user needs to either use this or the Brave Lance, and I thought of a fun thing to name this one. I really hope the coin bonus is good here. I could really appreciate that soldier. I don't think it matters which of the 5 cards you pick. Sword. +1 might's not bad. There does not appear to be a hash here. That's fine. I think you all know who this is going to. I think his inventory is full at the moment, though. Okay, I think I have enough for 1 more. I've got 2 forged javelins, 2 forged hand axes. You know, I'm actually really surprised that I have not gotten nothing on any of these coins I'm spending. +2 might. And yeah, the axe depicted on that card is obviously Irvan. What am I going to call this one? I just thought of a really stupid one. I always found Haxorus' Japanese name sounded really silly. It comes from both axe and to tremble in fear, and then the English word for axe. But Ononokusu always sounded funny to me. And I love it. It's weird how he says thanks a lot with a ... It makes it seem like he's being sarcastic. Well, I suppose let's just make a random cheapo jab. No, I can probably afford to spend that on other stuff. So yeah, in the Japanese version, you get a ton of forging points from selling all of your, like, 1 or 2 use left weapons, so I probably could have made all of that in the Japanese version. But anyway, let's see if I can afford anything with this. I can afford an extra restore staff, you know? Never hurts to have more of those around. Okay, so now that all of the shopping is out of the way, let's do supports. I was going to do inventories, but yeah. So, it's very important that I keep Icon Soren's A throughout endgame. And Sov and Micaiah will stay at A as well. Now, who can Sanaki support? Actually, it's probably easy to do this after I choose my endgame party, because then I only need to worry about supports between them. However, Lian and Nisala can finally get a C. So that's great. Ed would unfortunately need to support with someone else, so I don't think I'll be able to support him with Nolan. For some reason, I often end up supporting Edward and Sanaki in endgame. I don't know why, but yeah, Edward's... I mean... Okay, you know what? Oh, he can't support Mia! Dang it. That's a shame. You know, technically speaking, Jill and Aaron can keep their support. I'm planning on bringing both of them. Well, you might as well rank up your support with each other, even though it's not going to help, because I'm not bringing either of you to endgame. It's not a bad support, actually. Rolf needs to change his support partner. But who can he support? Nia, I guess. Oh, also Nephany. Nephany has lost a support partner, I guess, so... It is double win, though, which is not the best support out there. Pelia still can't support anyone, unfortunately. Okay, so now that that's done, before we take inventory, I just want to go ahead and mention that... Actually, I just want to... Are you selling Armor Slayers at all? No. That's actually really unfortunate. That means I don't have any at all. And I do have the hammer, but I don't want to waste that in this chapter because I need it to show something in endgame too. But anyway, so in terms of, like, let's do a count off of SS weapons, okay? We have Irvan, and I guess we have Ragnar, but Ragnar's a personal weapon. We have the Base Lard, which I might as well put in Soth's inventory, even though he can't use it yet. We have Rex Flame, which sounds like he can't use yet and likely won't be able to at all. We have the Varg Kati, one SS sword, but there is another SS sword that we're missing. We have, you know, might as well trade Irvan over to Jill. And you can't wear the Lagoon's gem. We have Rex Bolt, we have Rex Caliber, and we have the SS Dark Tome. So the SS rank weapons that we're missing right now, as I focus on Fiona for some reason, the SS weapons that we're missing right now are one SS Sword, the SS Lance, the SS Bow, the SS Light Tome, and the SS Staff. And we will be getting all of those in endgame relatively soon, so don't worry about that. You know what, I might as well give this to you to make your evasion slightly better. And I'm not going to spoil who I'm using the boots on. And let's go. Now I can finally explain how choosing an endgame party works. Oh no, it's Rio Forzageddon 2, the sequel! This is a good point by Kanagas. In the extended script, all the Laguz royals comment on this blasphemy, not just Kanagas. There's a moment coming up here that I really like too. Rare instance of someone giving a get a hold of yourself to a god, but then again, I'd never really cared much about, social standing and obligations to be polite to people. So I like how they justify, like, this is something that I like a lot of RPGs doing, because not a lot of them do this, but I know that Persona 3 did, how they justify what the characters you don't bring to the final battle are doing. Because in many games, they just sit there doing nothing. By best 11, she means including Ike, so you actually only have 10 free slots here. It actually would. The only thing Soth is good for in endgame is opening one chest. Also, Yune has another line that kind of does not fit the gameplay at all. Yeah, good luck doing that. But what she means is this. Yep, it's finally time for Micaiah's second Force promotion, which also means a new outfit. Also, the class name of this one is interesting, though it'll go over the heads of anyone who doesn't speak Japanese. I like Micaiah's third tier outfit. So, this class name, Light Priestess. In the Japanese version, third tier Micaiah had the same class name as Deirdre and Julia from Genealogy, which is very interesting. Which was actually Shaman, but very different from the Shamans from the GBA games. So now we get to choose our endgame team. You have 10 free slots, so I'm just going to go ahead and deselect everyone just to show this. You have 10 free slots because 6 out of your 16 are filled with Ike, Micaiah, Soth, Sanaki, Kurthnaga, and Ina. Now, just because characters are forced into your endgame party doesn't mean you have to deploy them in endgame. So, for example, you can feel free to leave Soth on the bench after you go into the tower. He just has to be in the tower party. Same with Kurthnaga if you don't want to train him. So, you actually only have 10 free slots here. Now, I've always said that endgame can be as easy or as hard as you want it to be, depending on how many Laguz Royals you choose to bring. If you want the easiest time in endgame, I would recommend this party. Nasala... where are the others? The others are much further down. Tiban. Kanagus, Gifka, Nyla, and Raphael. And you still have room for 5 more characters of your choice. But I'm obviously not going to do that because that I feel makes endgame a bit too easy. So instead, I'll only be bringing one Laguz Royal, and you already know who that is. It's Nasala. Now, certain characters also get additional dialogue in endgame. Many of the Laguz Royals do, but Nasala in particular gets a very important bit of additional dialogue in endgame 1 if you do bring him. So that's the other reason why I want to bring him to endgame. So, Nasala's here. Next up are the characters that I've trained who I plan on bringing. So, I want to bring Edward. Like, Edward's actually been getting a little bit screwed lately. If I was going purely objectively, I probably would just bring Mia at this point, but I've used Edward throughout the whole game, I still want to bring him. And besides, there are 2 SS swords in the game, so they both will get an SS weapon. Now, as much as you're probably going to be horrified looking at his inventory, I'm not going to be bringing Ha here, because that's a little bit cliched. Instead, I'll be bringing Jill. So, Jill's going. Of course, she's in bad biorhythm. Next up on my list, Soren, mainly for a base conversation later, but he is the main mage that I've trained, so he's going to endgame. And as much as I really, really want to bring Gatry because I love marshals, I had just barely not enough deployment slots, and of all the people I wanted to bring to endgame, Gatry would mean 3 lance users. I just don't have enough lancers to really cover that, and he was probably the weakest link of the 3 lance users, so I'm so sorry, Gatry. I wanted to bring you to endgame, but again, I didn't expect to bring Mia, so, yeah. Bring Rolf, because he is my main archer of this playthrough. Obviously, bring Mia too. Hopefully, Edward can catch up to her a little bit. Now, you don't really need a thief here because Soth already has that covered. There is 1 chest in the first endgame chapter. And of course I'm bringing No, sorry. I want to bring Alincia. Now, I find it extremely bizarre that Alincia is not forced into endgame. By all rights, she should be. But Alincia is one of the best healers in the game. I always like using her in endgame because she's just such a significant character. So yeah, bringing Alincia. Nephany, And, well, congratulations everyone, you've memed Aaron into endgame, I hope you're proud. And also, I did promise this, I'm bringing Peleus to endgame mostly for story reasons, but he'll also be a decent backup staff user who can also attack with dark magic. I'd really like to bring Volk, but I just don't have the slots. And yeah, I normally bring Kanagas, so doing endgame without Kanagas is going to be a lot more difficult than usual, but hopefully it makes things more fun. And yeah, you might notice we can't select any of the herons, there's a special reason for that. But here is the endgame party that I am going with. Tanith is another honorable mention that I'd probably like to include if I could. So now that you know who I'm bringing to endgame, it's time to do skill management. So for Ike, I did say that I wanted Nile back on him. Slight problem though, I don't think I'll be needing Nile in endgame 1, and for now I'm going to have to remove it to give Ike something else. And this is going to seem kind of weird, but bear with me for a second. Blossom. Reason being, Ike's speed is a bit behind. He needs to have 34 speed before endgame 2, so I want to make sure that he gains 2 more points of speed before then, or I am going to have to resort to a bit of bonus experience. So I'll do that. Next, Micaiah. Micaiah's skills are fine. Soph, you might notice here I've actually removed guard, because I doubt it'll be seeing much use here. And let's be honest, Soph is so fragile at this point that he's not really going to be doing a good job guarding anyone. So yeah, I don't think I want to give him anything, since I doubt I'll really use him very much. I mean, maybe if I have a spare pass scroll, I think I actually have a few passes. Yeah, I have 2 passes. I'm going to give him this just to make sure he can get to one of the chests in endgame 1. Oh, that though, I'm fine. Sanaki, Flare, can you fit anything else? You know, I wouldn't actually mind you having Stillness, but that requires you to get rid of Paragon, which, I mean, to be honest, Paragon's not really that useful on Sanaki, so I guess I can take Paragon off and give you Stillness. Of all the people who could have Stillness, Sanaki's probably a good bet, even though she's not going to be in enemies' attack ranges very much regardless. And that takes up all of her capacity. Okay, Nasala still has Nullify, that's good, and as for the rest, I think I'm okay with those skills. Now, I do want Nasala to be fighting one of the bosses here, but I don't think he needs Nile. I think he has enough HP to survive a hit from the boss. I think Edward is fine for skills at the moment. I mean, I could give him Wrath Resolve, but Resolve is overkill with Trueblade level speed. He's going to double pretty much everything. He might need Resolve a little later on in endgame, but for now, it's probably fine. Now, Jill. Jill could use a little bit extra. I don't think she really needs Resolve either. Provoke. I'm not sure about Provoke. Savior's not a bad idea. In fact, how about Savior? And, okay, so yeah, Edward, fine. Jill, you have Savior and Resolve. Yeah, like I said, Resolve could be more useful. I could give Resolve to Sutniki to help her actually double things, or Micaiah, but I guess Micaiah could sacrifice herself down into Resolve range. I know Sutniki is not likely to be getting into Resolve range, because if something hits her, she is going to go splat, but Micaiah at the moment, I do want to keep Discipline and Paragon, because I would like for her to get to an SS rank in Staves at least. Although I probably will have to use Arm Scrolls for that, but I think Jill's fine for now. Yeah, it must be level 15 that you get the capacity increase. Okay. Okay, Soren. I don't think Soren needs Discipline anymore. I have better staff users, so I'm not really too concerned about his staff rank at this point. You might as well keep Counter even though it's not doing much. Actually, you might not do bad with Resolve. It's also Wrath. Interesting. However, Wrath has a very, very strict HP requirement. You can get your Adept back, I guess. Not Provoke. Definitely not Smite either. I'm gonna give you Resolve because mages sometimes have trouble doubling things. And yeah, Counter's just not that useful. I might as well take Counter off of you and give you a better 10, I mean, I suppose Shade's not bad, but I kind of want things attacking Soren because he breaks through generals quickly. not Provoke, not Savior. And I guess Shade's the only thing I can fit there. Okay, Rolf. Let's see, Corrosion, Daunt. Still not really sure about Daunt on you, but I guess I want Daunt on someone. Corrosion's not bad. I guess I could give you Shade as well. Oh, wait, I can just show this. So this is completely silly and probably not going to be that effective, but Gamble on Marksman can be pretty funny sometimes. You can end up with insanely high crit rates with killer bows, and their accuracy is high enough. They usually have 70% accuracy even with Gamble. And Mia, I think, is also fine. I could also give you Wrath, but I don't know. Elincia. Okay, Elincia. What do you need? Adept combined with Amity could be pretty fun. Not Mercy. Actually, why the heck don't you have Imbue at this point? Sadly, you can't really fit much else on your skill set. I kind of wanted to give you Adept too, but... I suppose another Savior might not be a bad idea. That or Shade, maybe? Or Corrosion? I mean, 4 chances to instantly break an enemy's weapon. Yeah, let's go for Corrosion. But yeah, Imbue, I can't believe I hadn't given her Imbue yet, because that combined with Staff Healing means she pretty much fully heals herself every turn, even though her HP is sadly pretty low. Speaking of which, I just realized I need to go back to Jill. Yeah, in fact, let's remove both of these, because for this chapter I actually want Nullify on her. I forgot I had Nullify. I mean, an extra Nullify at least. Sadly, she doesn't really have enough to fit anything else. But yeah, I want Nullify on Jill for this chapter because there are some fairly strong Thunder Mages here, and she's going to be flying out on her own. Okay, so that's done. Nephany. I'm okay with you still having Disarm. Wrath Resolve. That's definitely a possibility. Even though Resolve doesn't increase strength here, and your speed's already high enough to double most things. To some extent, I'd rather have Adept on you, actually, but you know what, I'm going to give you Wrath Resolve, and then Aaron is going to go ahead and get Adept. And... I'm saving Parity for later. Provoke's not that bad of an idea on him. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give you Provoke, although there are some mages in this chapter, and... mages don't exactly, they're pretty effective against Aaron, unfortunately. But I think for now I'll keep that skill set up, and as for Peleus, you don't need Paragon anymore. So you can get, how about Vantage Wrath? That could be kind of fun. Now, Ina, I'm going to go ahead and actually give you Smite, even though you don't really want people being pushed away from Ina. Ina's going to be mostly deployed here for utility, so she could take Smite, and her weight's pretty high when transformed, though not nearly as high as male red dragons, who go from like 10 to like 80, which is kind of silly. So, here are everyone's stats going into endgame. Yeah, we can still access the shops from this screen, and we can still award experience. We can't, for some reason, do skills at this point. But this will be my endgame group. But there's one more thing to decide on. You get to choose one of the 3 herons to bring, bringing your total party to 17. Now, of these herons, Raphael is easily the best if you're speedrunning because he can chant for 4 people right off the bat. Rayson, however, has higher movement. The main cost is that he has to use his first turn to use a Lagoo's gem on himself, and that means that you're not chanting for 1 turn. But if you can bear that, Rayson's good for his additional movements. Leanne doesn't really have anything particularly unique going over the other 2 herons, which is why she's almost never picked for endgame. And that's exactly why I'm bringing Leanne in this playthrough, because almost no one has shown Leanne in endgame on YouTube, so I want my playthrough to be a little unique, so we're actually going with Leanne for this. Leanne... well, I can give you Miracle, but I doubt I'm gonna be getting you attacked. It's not really that bad of an idea, given how high your luck is, though. Although, admittedly, I could go for the Path of Radiance callback. Remember when I gave Ike Miracle then, because it was the only thing that could fit on his remaining skill capacity? I could go ahead and give this to Ike, but in fact, I might want to save that for the next fight. For now, I'm gonna just give this to Leanne, just in case. Oh, wait a second. I need to give Leanne Celerity, but she doesn't have the capacity. I actually have to bonus experience her for that. When does her capacity upgrade? I forget the exact levels at which Lagoo's get increased capacity. So you're level 10 now, and you still have 20. How about 15? Yeah, I completely forgot about the capacity issue with Leanne. I know Lagoo's get their final capacity upgrade at level 30, I think it is. This will also teach Leanne some new chants. Okay, it's now increased, and that should be enough for Celerity. Yes, it is. Nice. And you can fit Miracle on there as well. Okay, that's good. That's what I needed. And with that, preparations are over. It's time to storm the tower, and I will see you next time for Endgame 1.